Right, everyone be a about the sports arena, Brazil, Transnafi. Yadi Agude Munsemo Bana, your trans say, dear, Shannon say, your ballroom, and a Champions League night. Tuesday, Papa B, and Yasam Ketu Accra. Road to Budapest. Budapest, I was hungry, and Yasam Ketu Accra. We was here, she in Yamaye. My bed for me to me pick live and Vamra. Now be behind the Enkoye. You call a year hungry Budapest, a hot and you Champions League final no and Yasam Ketu Accra. Games in start here and our matches no air startation to say qualifying rounds need your man bubo we are no na ma Karabak mo near the adin no ma boy room tishan super Kerat Amati mu nyina no saa rounds no e no matumi abo adi room na group phase no afini ya start group phase in shan so say this is the second year year born league 4 e ho no ma anya Asam Ketu Accra obebo big teams na ne ade a home na we sem bia nim ti utina fie na obi be hyewa e be ye din so be sa aye den aka so oba fie ma wo so wanom no enya happen ti every match bia no you treat it as a final se ne be ya oba qualify dey akọ wanim na bibia so atumi aye den e de akoye e ho no ti be rewera games nim na de aka bia atumi e de abmamo na afi ya kyeremo na pure analysis na ye ba be ye me ensa nyina no ye be analyze games no papa bi mu bisa me say na ade ntina me de ye me analyze bi na me to saa nti me so ene me kyerɛ ma adwene me analyze games no bi na so wahu say yes de ekɔ ene de ba say na be boa ama so better opese wutwa no enyama atumi ayeden akoyihye no say Facebook for no o ma gye pages no we asoden eya na ye eno magi page nti eguso ani omo kasa so mbebie dia man na mom YouTube de ye giran na so pampe nya Asam Ketu Accra nti eno YouTube ho no ukọ a de obehu ne se ye streaming show no edin no aye MYBET.AFRICA TV MYBET.AFRICA TV na fi wo hwe caption na sports arena Champions League games preview enya Asam Ketu Accra nti join in ewo YouTube na show no streaming live ho no nti o join in na wa share na o yonko bi so aiden enya de ekọ ne de ba na fa bibia so no atumi akoye ho no ene games no ano betumi ayetin papa enya Asam Ketu a enti na yese check MYBET online radio no so obeti yenka na fei ukọ all the retail shops now once ye de daso pahwe manfo hwe yen kiti na omotumi de omadwen kire ne ade and so atumi a guide omo amama select de ompeso mo select na bibia so no atumi akoye honom Benedict was aso na Vincent wa ha ye be rem o MYBET education no sima ewia na yaba na yaba be rem ewo games no shanu say na Champions League wo Champions League final commentary wo page yo magi still ye be stream afa ana okay ti ye be di nkomo say commentary wo no ma ye de hu pupuye ni nyina beba de ma necessary games no 4:45 ombe wi ombe ye hu adwuma ne ade no ebe ha dwen pa nti ye be srempen for say 30 minutes no ye de be ma 36 mo aye os no hu adwuma ye obeye ne ntem se na be amanfo bi twa bet no because Arsenal bo 4:45 ebe ba amanfo atwa okay enti kan sa de anka ne nke betumi kura mo 15 minutes wo we no ne ka pon 2:15 nanka otumi anya enough time otwa ne tentem na ya share mo bia atwa bi because ene MYBET ye den ye de ne chibe ka fam or ye den first na 4 matches into fact you are compelled say also for big offer teams ni bebre ebi wo kra to be for outside games are Champions League no mu aba be say no beba utra sama means no one Arsenal to me aboni one Arsenal e de baboni Stadio San Mamis one na boni PSV Eindhoven etna fie otna aye Philips Stadion Eindhoven na one Royal Union St Gelois etumi ede aboni Benfica ebetna Estadio de Luz Lisbon na one aye Karabakh etumi ede areda so ukowrem ewo aye boboko a anase venue aye friend Allianz Stadium in Turin Juventus and Dortmund edebeboni na ukokopiem so ewo aye Estadio Santiago de Bernabeu 78,000 seater capacity 200 bikras eguso Olympic Marseille ebeko no mo ne Real Madrid etimi akobo ani saso ena Tottenham Hotspur Stadium London 62 seater capacity Tottenham Hotspur ebe hosti Villarreal honum these are the games ubetimenya out of 5 ubetimenya out of 10 ubetimenya out of 8 ebe boa ma odi ade odi eguso na bibia so atumi ade akoyi ti sa games we ene ye ba be biabiem ye be rewrem pa nya asem ketoa na wahu de ekone de baba before then no ma yenji my better education no sima na ye wi aye metoa aye show ni so Benedict ma okwaba
yeah list o am jo so
bia kama de
bia kama
ye hwe my better education no quickly na afi
yes ye hwe my better education de nim say Champions League do say ya na de nigie ene ahoto na abre nti ene 6 games and a course with just 6 games on MYBET.AFRICA no unso betimi afiska mu edupa time bia metu fu say MYBET.AFRICA my options ebeboa me etimi afiska nti any 6 games na ebekoso no with bet builder option with aka bonus available with early payout and so option na MYBET.AFRICA dey mine no kwan bia so no unso betimi afiska say utai hwe show we a ehun say Champions League dey emfin dia agro Champions League na e fiska because you be analyze games natural you bet your odds ba ku mienu bi ese unhu options then a game ne de brewer na menu so betimi afiska nti ene ye wura MYBET.AFRICA yen kona ko register we a mema 1 or 2 steps ene isi shebet na betimi edi echi na unso di ayeden afiska nti ene ko www.MYBET.AFRICA wo browser okwa top right corner obehu icon bi ase ko ni green miaso obehu login ni register register ne so a ena menu so 3 simple steps na unso di register. The first one your phone number phone number ne so a and they know about phone number their mobile money transactions ashim no emia next our username and they available username din apese we use into ene ebetimi ayo unique na ebetimi ayo fie din ebetimi ayo din bi apese we use no about ashim. The next one password we password ni confirm password ni na ya ade ba ko into bo password no about the same thing as confirm password now if you about register ne so MYBET for be send you verification code now they verify your account now so about become MYBET ebusu and then Champions League 6 games na be course no use bet builder option no na ene fa fiscal MYBET.AFRICA we just bet builder yi bibia betimi akoyi amount 6 games ubetimi enya 60 options ene film into ene MYBET.AFRICA use bet builder on games no na unso fa fiscal show ne course no ye be ma options ye gidi say betimi abonti hwe show ne nso copy mewie na unso Champions League fiscal ehye obotom MYBET.AFRICA
Champions League now so na wafaska edi egu botom na bibia so no etumi akoye honam quickly muma yen start game no and 4:45 Arsenal travel to Stadio San Mamés now on Atletico Bilbao ekwakobo yenra analysis nim
yes ye Arsenal game na we Arsenal team bia the Champions League ya de ba kwa a form on sanu ye pan they've been looking at getting there omako final ni bi da omewemu the semi final omewemu quarter final. I think every stage in the Champions League upe team bia wetimi aboni ni na ontimi nje ya Arsenal ene ebe boni din wo but ene game ni very crucial my team friend Atletico Bilbao because obo home in before season ebe starting obi akai on Arsenal ebo friendly ewo Emirates enameno so Arsenal timi born 3-0 into ene going into the game we Atletico Bilbao side last 3 home games on mabono say game ni be ko na wie ya by 1 goal margin into either side Atletico Bilbao win by a goal margin and now say away team no ba no eba be winning by a goal margin. On my last 6 home games on my ball, that summer mess no. Every time be an at least first half go ba. Inti ene obi okọ MYBET.AFRICA. Akwa Arsenal any Atletico Bilbao game no. So who say first half say go be mu a e ma nya won. Inti first half 0.5 optional betimi akọ. And na me sound ball so say a goal margin and every time be an omobo home a etimi decide o me. Arsenal in their last 8 Champions League so mabo. Opening day game Arsenal lose here. It's either say Champions League or say Europa League or the first game of bebo to open the Champions League day no on lose. Into going into this game bibia e back team a friend Arsenal. Say ni obeti me abon home modern. O share on the other side that Arsenal on a team on time both team to score. Because defensively we are very solid. You hear Europa team are defensively or very solid. Obebo Arsenal the account. Into head say obehu say Arsenal abo game a eni wabo both team to score and I be there be. Into ene say o team say game we Bilbao she goals. Arsenal nso bo goals into me call for both team to score. No ahwe hu ye Bilbao last 2 games obo ofie ni na no. Olusu by 1-0. Untimi winning a game at home. Into ene likely say Arsenal game obeko against Bilbao no. A sure win for Arsenal. O share us at MYBET.AFRICA for the Arsenal le mu eduye pa. Can call almost 2 odds. Into any MYBET.AFRICA we just Arsenal game me. I think say Arsenal were the upper hand over Atletico Bilbao with start any BBA back Arsenal. The game might not go more goals, say maybe 1 over 2.5. We will see goals, but I'm looking at a 1 goal margin and a first half goal. I bet me about. There's 2 teams line up on bet me there. You said Declan Rice. Arsenal game on board in the weekend against Nottingham Forest when Timian started, and it shows say yes. Arteta and Adrian said that game so Timi Bono. Now pe player be a ban against Spanish clubs are Obono Humodian Declan Rice. Last season in the Champions League who against Roma do 2 exceptional free kicks and Timi share. Into Arteta arrest Rice and make sure say any obetimi abo. I think we'll see the same lineup on Modebo against Nottingham Forest. The only change be when he said Declan Rice be move for Odegaard and a picky shoulder injury for Arsenal side. Into be move Victor Gyökeres, Eberechi Eze, Noni Madueke, we Merino, Ononso call back to Spain, Zubimendi call back to Spain, Gabriel, any Raya, any Timber, any Caliafro in be home game. You share Atletico Bilbao side now, and then Nico Williams a picky injury. Was Spanish national team into and Nico Williams will game no. Into and Sebia obi coach Nico Williams to score la. Likely say a bit to me embo because any game no boom. But it's one game you be with the likes of Inaki Williams into bet me Jinemu Abo Ama your friends at Let's Go Bilbao. Defense no, that is where in Nipa see a sheni ye Kai Vivian against Man United omo bobo ni ye but in the second round no the defensive partnership between Vivian and Paredes and Ebehu in this game. Say Obi call MYBET.AFRICA player to score Victor Gyökeres likely say ne Obeshegu ewo game because of Atletico Bilbao be on my dreams on be press Arsenal into be leave gaps any holes ama Victor Gyökeres and ne obetimi explore into this Arsenal game on MYBET.AFRICA on bet builder no make for Arsenal straight win first half 0.5 and na Victor Gyökeres to score. Corners is where likely corners over 8.5 or Arsenal game likely say bet me abo. Into would bet that this 4 options bet me nya bet 3 to 4 or tell why bibia e bet me akoyi. Yenhwe Juventus any Borussia Dortmund game ene ebekoso. Na yenim said these teams the last time bi omuhia was in 2019-2020 season. And a group phase and ye trim and yembo sa group phase nibium. But the last time Borussia Dortmund intimidated and Sato Juventus so was that UEFA Champions League final on board in 1997. And the Dortmund did in the first Champions League. Into free hawk on Juventus and Adrian send the Dortmund there or better than in Nigeria so. Now in their last home meetings and our last 9 meetings, Juventus winning 6. Dortmund who is a Champions League final on the free man, maybe we need just 1. Against Juventus. Into Juventus, I and said that Champions League final no more boy no. Utimi winning free hawk on Watina in Nigeria so I'm making sure so be taking advantage of Dortmund. Juventus in so last 8 competitive games our ball. It move 5. Every time be a Juventus it me 5 or goals about in the game need me 5 or more. You who the recent one against Inter Milan with 4-3. Into a net game Usha Dortmund and so on the other hand, me a team be almost goals. eba no goal share any conceding. Dortmund so last 8 Champions League games our born are ended in over 2.5. Internet so be come and MYBET.AFRICA. This is one game Juventus bo home out of games our born na mu ba coupe and a both team to score a ball. But the net quite be as no, there will be a both team to score in this game. The likes of Guirassy, the likes of Yildiz, any friend is saying that way a friend saying the likes with Yildiz mu ebejine mu emo metimi abo and then I'm looking at a both team to score. MYBET.AFRICA options on bet builder on this game. Both team to score and over 2.5. Say unkofa one team to be winning. Na no so no team na kwakwa den akwakwa lusu. Inti meko effort both team to score and over 2.5. Yenhwe omo last meetings Juventus home. Na ye they ahweso try and bet. In their last 4 meetings Juventus home, it has ended in a 2-1, 2-1, 2-0, 3-0. Into teams over 2.5. Any both team to score no. Likely say betimi abo. So open just one option now betimi akọ for over 2.5 but open bet builder option and ema usika ni mu yedua both team to score and over 2.5 or yenhwe Juventus we formation omo dey into this game. I think say they've been able to be solid with a 3-back system and omo but we'll see another 3-back system to ram the likes of Yildiz mu. I'm seeing Jonathan David starting this game ahead of Vlahovic. Because of say with the pace, I'm betting me take care of this Dortmund defensive line and the Dortmund defensive line pace in you. Into he will be betting me more runs. Then in the second half, we'll be introducing Vlahovic. But on the Dortmund side, they be who their main man. And last season in the Champions League, they do baby no leading the goal king Serge Guirassy say no bet me edge name. Ne be the likes of Adeyemi and a bear that they are two topper and they almost bet me a bomb homody a bet me aye ama bibia koyi in the Champions League and the Juventus game no. Listo I think both team to score and over 2.5 optional metachi on ewo. Yansha Real Madrid Marseille on any day in a game we share odds from their mama say anu edin 7.85 odds MYBET.AFRICA. But one thing I'm a person I said this Marseille team is being handled by coach Efrenu Deserbi. Now, upe coach or tactically good, upe coach ne obetimi abon homodin and making sure say obet disturb any team on in Beshia. Deserbi was a particular game no. Now, this game at Real Madrid in the last home games against any side no. With Timia Peke 7 wins, 11. With Timia Peke 7 wins with 2 draws and 2 losses. Now Real Madrid are averaging at least over 2.5. Any of their last group phase Champions League games. So last season, Real Madrid no more concede ye pan, but no more to goals. But this time under Xabi Alonso, they are trying to limit the way they concede goals. It's say Real Madrid will concede it wouldn't be more than 2 goals in this game. And now Oshe Marseille side on my last 4 games on my ball in the French League every time be a goal eba from the 85th minute to the 90th minute. Now upe team Champions League no unim last minute bopa Real Madrid. In the second half 0.5 in this game is likely to happen. Because of Real Madrid pedigree in the Champions League. And anytime be a Marseille ebo in the Champions League, it's a qualification, it's a group phase. Every time be the results ends in a 2-1. It's either say Marseille win by 2 goals to 1 and a Real Madrid win by 2 goals to 1. So on this day, on this game, I'm looking at on my last meetings and so that is Santiago Bernabeu has ended in a 3-0 and also a 2-1. Into way MI start MI who said this game will surely end in a 1.5 or a 2.5. And both teams are likely to score. Into a may come MYBET.AFRICA on this game based on the lineup I may share. I'm looking at Kylian Mbappe starting, Vinicius Junior coming in, your friend is saying Ada Goulet coming in, and also Mastantano also coming in for player friend Ibrahim Diaz, our boy recently. Now you that player and they obey Mutimi Real Madrid. That is Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Time I know Barcelona, a player no she goes against Real Madrid during that time and no best start Olympic Marseille. You Gomez, you Greenwood coming back and Ultimately, not the time when Alexander no 20 minutes start the game not ahead of player friend or that is Cavara. But this is a game I'm looking at. Real Madrid best would be a draw in this game. Real Madrid then started the Champions League group phases ni. Inti is the best for Real Madrid a bear draw. Inti options I'm on this game. But Real Madrid win or draw 1.5 in this game, and now say both team to score over 2.5 ewo game where likely say my MYBET.AFRICA bet builder option ebe boa ama bibia koyi. But the last game I will touch on Tottenham Hotspurs any Villarreal game and also bekoso na Tottenham Hotspurs Thomas Frank the first Champions League game at Albany, and there are a whole lot of players in the Tottenham Hotspurs team on first Champions League or Mubo, the likes of Bergvall, the likes of Yefenise and Samu and Richarlison. This is their first Champions League, but there are players in their setup or many Champions League experience. Maybe Xavi Simons, Mohamed Kudus, Romero Mu, Pedro Peromu. They've gotten the chance to play in the Champions League, and it wouldn't be surprising saying they will go into the game and make sure some people more. You have Villarreal side now. Their players they've played in the Champions League week in, week out. Every time they are Champions League, because of much opportunity or mutimibo. But Villarreal going into the international break, no mukuta hot form. After the international break, no be lose to Atletico Madrid by 2-0. So this game, traveling to England, they want to go and cement their results. Stats kaka against these two teams going into the game. Tottenham last 10 competitive games or about emu 2 pair and a both team to score above. Interne say both team to score in this game now and Tottenham last 7 Champions League games on Mabono emu 6 ome lose by 1 goal margin into a very tight game, meaning say Tottenham Hotspurs and a Villarreal game a bit me to the wire, maybe a 1-1 a 2-1 win and a bit me Villarreal so in the last 7 games are going competitive no wa emu 3 it may end in a goalless draw. But one thing about this fixture is Tottenham team in the last 5 games goalless draw at the back who are NCA. Either Tottenham may lose by a goal to nil and no better by 2 goals to nil. Into this fixture, call 1.5 likely say bet me about the goal margin very little amame. But I'm seeing Tottenham keeping a clean sheet in this game. Because the likes of defense and Nicolas Pepe, I'm not seeing them getting that nod ahead of me and say obey me apart the likes of Van der Ven. So I'm seeing Tottenham at least getting a clean sheet in this game. This collapse the last time Omushia was in 2010 in a Champions League game. And I'm so Villarreal winning by 4-1. But this game say come MYBET.AFRICA football am the bema only say Tottenham Hotspurs win or draw and 1.5. Tottenham Hotspurs win or draw and 1.5 because Thomas Frank Amayati has to say keeping clean sheet at the back him. So this will be one game and they would like to keep that clean sheet and also score at least 2 goals to cement their stand in the UEFA Champions League phase because until this too with UEFA Champions League games because we know Matachi on 1 or 2 games be a say bibia bet me akoye but Champions League there upe baby chana time they are me too for MYBET.AFRICA because of our bet builder options are omode my
okay.
Yeah, my main charity for now say virus bet me at the atuma my say baby other I think say and Osha Champions League now started and you move last season when almost started say almost in the league phase, people didn't understand, but now we've seen the excitement and the joy this new league phase and changes are in the Champions League now. But if you look at the year, you've been a lot of games, big clashes, especially and the normal circumstances. Not end times, he said you've been a Champions League game. My best at the first games now been a tough games, and gladly as a Ghanaian, I'm very happy that there's going to be 7 Ghanaian players they will be playing in this captainship this season. Mohamed Kudus of Tottenham Hotspur, Thomas Partey Bobby Sansona, Kamadin Suleiman and Atlanta Airball, Inaki Williams in Atletico Bilbao and Omone Arsenal Airball, and Mohamed Salisu Monaco for Bobby Sansona, a Branson Emmanuel Adai of Karabakh FK, and Mohamed Fusseini of Innocent Gelwa, Omunaye Ghanaian players are Mubabisi Akan Ewo Champions League this, especially in Nyamiadme 4 players nebo, and we will see Tottenham and Villarreal playing. Atletico Bilbao, Inaki Williams, Bebo Sanso, and Eunice and Gelo for Mohamed Fusseini, and so Ebetimi Abo. Listo, Maminra gave me more. And I think, say, I would like to start from Villarreal, Elko back to landing on more Elko Bonti. Say, there is this picture be a Patene Papa B, Ejina Honse, virus between that also, Menama can't be. You see, there are a lot of players. Especially if you look at the Spanish league now, there are a lot of players. I say, if Omunya any court in terms of rape, any sexual assault, to be ana, Akwa say Spain for that they seem not to be fans. They don't really care like how some of the England fans they be care. Although, Abranta Thomas Partey called Villarreal, no? Most of the fans, there were a lot of commentary and narrative surrounding the move to a Villarreal team, no. And Adiama Partey abe one of as a winner Sundri, especially our Villarreal, the support from Papaya on the nature picture, no. And before Papa be joining Villarreal in the early 90s, no. Na Villarreal team no NGB biada. He is the president for a year team and a year Villarreal. He did Fernando Roig. And reports nature say so call Villarreal team. No say Villarreal a community, a very small community of 50,000 people. So they really care about the team and they support the team. Before Papa no call join the team, na Villarreal team no NG BBA join it Okotoki over in 1997. And when Oteki over, that was when almost started some more year on Tenka when Omunya Champions League football, also getting winning the Europa League against United and so on. So he's somebody that leads to say Ono Anas and Neba, who is the executive chairman of the team, and also the Fernando sir. So I'm going to take a decision. I say people in the team, Omun Sheda and challenge job. Okay, chairman say yeah. As chief executive CC, and they go by that. Whenever there is any advice or someone Papa they give the man the advice. Now, if you look at Villarreal team now, list somebody who has the final say, especially when it comes to transfers, almost sporting director, Miguel Angel Tena. He is the person usually or no matter the final say in terms of transfers. So he's that person who okayed Thomas Partey move to Villarreal. And almost several instances, if Thomas Partey is fit, now about that DM role, no or Babonia, you cannot mention 5 to 6 players in that position or very good more than Thomas Partey. Although circumstances are surrounding the move, no, they believe that player no case no ever court. He Thomas Partey no, he's as also Akase. Or innocent or such charges no. So in as much as court enya me boo Abrante for no, they Villarreal for no. If an opportunity has come for them to sign Thomas Partey, they have to do that. And Partey no, many can say he had several moves to Saudi, to the Qatar League, to US, MLS and all leagues, but then he still wanted to play in the Champions League, stay in Europe, and especially in Spain. Maybe an area and then mano most of the time. So they had opportunity, and the coach for the team, in pre-match conference ahead of this game, also Rebecca said they believe that Thomas Partey has so much experience that he will have the right mentality to play in this game, and Thomas Partey is ready, and they Villarreal team, no, they are very happy. Even from insiders and reporter Dario and Master reporting say even Thomas Partey, no, some of the players are no more, but they don't really care because the players they are victims. They've seen what happened to Benjamin Mendy. Abra case no court and so the players and the team they are in full support of Thomas Partey. In fact, in the first game of boy, there were some few whistles but then he's been playing. The last game against Atletico Madrid, so here bia Ojibo bia na Tico fans no any no, so you don't see whistles or boos from no nonsense team no bono. So I say the Villarreal team no they support him. If you look at supporters club, most spokesperson Jose Angel, I see he is surprised that a lot of people were against. Say the move, no, a lot of people were not against. He was expecting saying Thomas Partey can generate a lot of narrative, bad and negative stuffs. But he's surprised, and any Villarreal fans, no, they are really in support of Thomas Partey. Now against Atletico Bilbao, Enunya first start. Atletico Madrid, Enunya first start. And if you look at coach, no, the style of player always our 4 central midfielders. and Aquacres omo the main starters no. Papa Gay. And Abranton had the comments and it's a virus bit me day. Villarreal for probable lineup no e de ato so amamia. Abranton no somebody that always or started 2 players. So against Atletico Bilbao list or started Pareo, another senior defender. Sorry, midfielder. He has been with Villarreal for so many years. And Ostati Pareo, any Abrantandi, any Thomas Tepate in that game. And Russia, Abrantandi Komesana, any guy, they are the players that since almost started season, you know, they've been playing day in, day out for them. I only the 2 center penalty, Villarreal for no, only a 4-4-2 system. It is a very checking them highlights, and then yes. So this is it. On the 4-4-2 system, Perez, enemy Catalans, Abrante, we know Marcel. Then, if they are attacking, Nicolas Pepe will move up front. Abrante and Eddie Mulero will also move up front. Then they will leave the 2 central midfielders pair no, with Renato Vega, João Foyt, Moreno, and Abrante and Eddie Cardona. So this is basically how they set up. But in the game, no, if you see either Komesana and Agei dropping for Thomas Partey to start, don't be surprised. Probably Coach may feel the atmosphere coming up against Tottenham because Partey no about Arsenal. And Ope, the North London derby, Tottenham for the Arsenal for them. So, former Arsenal player now about against Tottenham Hotspur, they still see you to be an enemy. So whether Thomas Partey will start or he's not going to start, Aquacre said these are the 2 center pair always be Villarreal coach no almost team starting the next game no. I know say if Thomas Partey starts here, the atmosphere would not be very good for or not Thomas Partey because coach Masnilino, everybody is supporting no. So whether Obenye a very good return from the fans, whether only a very good return, the mentality of Thomas Partey. People should bear in mind say after this game and you do be the team na chidi akọ Spain because in the court case no nyame admo ochina and no say Thomas Partey court that is omudi sasemti after this game Obeka landing he won't go back to Spain with his teammates and then no what now into the game. If you look at Tottenham Hotspur's team now, virus and form so probable lineup, so I think that Thomas Frank has started season on a very good note. We are starting season on a very good note looking at how Omusisi, Omakai, and how they've been playing, especially this season. This is basically how they are going to set up. The only players are Omo Enya fit, especially Omo Timino, Uji Dijan Kulisevsky, maybe striker, former Chelsea striker Kobem of Solanke, then maybe Bissouma, who even the coach doesn't like the attitude, especially when it comes to discipline. So basically, this is how Tottenham Hotspur they are going to set up. Normal fallback, Romero, Porro, Van der Ven, and Jed Spencer. Onyane call up to the English national team recently. Bergvall, Bentancur, and Sa. And Oyusu ran away very good that Oyusu Sa as that player now Otimi cover a lot of distance, Otimi a lot of dirty work at the moment. Then Bergvall also as that number 10 now Auburn, also Otimi a provider with that shield and everything almost a bit mania. If you look at Tottenham specialist, they are back in the Champions League and last season Senkauka sa Ode Tottenham performance especially in the Premier League and community is about Champions League this season. But they were able after placing 17th in the English Premier League, you know, Omuchi United Esheno. Esheno. I know Omuchi the Europa League and Omuchi the Rome. So basically coming almost success, especially in the Europa League in Enamo. But if you look at Villarreal team as well, Omuni very good record against England teams. Although Omuchi United at Europa League, but then Omuchi bought 14 games against Premier League teams and listo. Oma lose 8 and Oma draw 6. It means that Oma winning just over 14 defeats in this competition. Abba, in the Champions League. Villarreal for Oma lose 14 times in the Champions League. Emu 8 against English teams, and basically they are playing away from home to a landing stadium. And I think basically if you look at Tottenham team now, they will start Xavi Simons, Mohamed Kudus any Brandon a year Richarlison because we can almost say Matistel until Richarlison a lot of a year time to rest. To me, I see that this game will be a gamer. Both of the teams will be using flanks. They will be shooting from afar because of Nicolas Pepe and you have Mohamed Kudus and you have Xavi Simons in your team. These people will be shooting. To be very honest, if Spurs 40% they have to be aggressive because Comenasa, any Papagaye or even say Pareo or Mesati Thomas Partey, these players are they are very good up front. Definitely Mikatauzi, any Perez mo, they are players that I think that Romero mo, any Van der Ven with almost speed. Their intensity no ometima maintaining these players. Jet Spence will pace ometima they are maintaining Brandon Edit Nicolas Pepe. So to me, I think say this game is going to be a very good game. In fact, coach now or the Villarreal for Nebano, an experienced gaffer, yent me under it. So in this game, I see over 1.5 goals in this game, and I don't think Spurs will lose this game. Because of how Omar started season, they have a very good squad and they're playing at home in front of the Tottenham Hotspur fans. I'm going for a double chance and over 1.5 goals in that game for Tottenham Hotspur. Now, there's going to be another game. Cranker. That is Madrid and Olympic Marseille. Whether we like it or not, two top class. Baku free France and Baku free Spain and Eba. If you look at Real Madrid, as far as the Champions League are concerned, they are the best team because Omar Jimison teams Nibia. And if you look at Real Madrid, at least almost started a campaign. I was Santiago Bernabeu, Abra Omu hosti Marseille, which was the only French club no the Champions League before last season. PSG Ebabeji Trophy Nibi. Now, if you look at the situation, this will be the 27th time. Madrid Ebabe bought a UEFA Champions League game. Home. Nti nyame adoma ene ebe kan 27 games at Madrid. Open a Champions League season at the Santiago Bernabeu. And now listen, aside from almost 27 games the previous 26 on boy, the only time Madrid bought a Champions League opener at the Bernabeu was Shakhtar Donetsk. So that was the game that Mikhailo Mudryk. That game, Omi Mudryk free mono. Na Bernabeu Obia sorry airborne in somebody Mikhailo Mudryk. That game, Shakhtar Donetsk, one of the Brazilian internationals combined with the Ukraine young players, no, Ekosho 3-2. Even a Courtois and make a lot of saves and that very day, and commit match be 4-5. So Madrid opening the Champions League opener, especially at home, gamer, they do very well. And one thing is Savara is beating the Madrid for lineup and probably lineup at Toswa. A player like Kylian Mbappe. Kylian Mbappe in Champions League openers is just like Mohamed Salah, any English Premier League match day once. Where the go. Whether you like it or not, the past 4 seasons, Kylian Mbappe in the Champions League match day once, debut go. And to be very honest, for Madrid this season, in the La Liga, Madrid above 4 games. Omashi 8 goals. Kylian Mbappe single-handedly has scored 4. That is 50% of Madrid goals Omashi, especially this season in the La Liga. And then again, Kylian Mbappe was also making 2 assists. So who compare out of the 8 goals Madrid, he is involved in 80%. And Obiane Bayadrin say this season. Yeah, player one starting season a very good no. That's Obetimi Atuaso. That's a serious Ballon d'Or contender. It is Kylian Mbappe for both club and country. And likely said this is how Madrid is going to start the game. And the reporter, Massa for the Edinburgh said Trent Alexander-Arnold will start in this game.
Okay.
In Yebenya Militao, Yebenya Jean Hoyson, no Alvaro Carreras. This is the stagnant 4-back and Alonso Elbow. Chouameni, Valverde Bebo. Franco Mastantuono reporting just over starting in this game.
Okay.
Ada Goulet will start ahead of Jude Bellingham, although Jude Bellingham are back. And then again, Vinicius Junior and Rodrigo Emubaku best starting, and likely that Vinicius Junior will start. And currently, Madrid for best player Kylian Mbappe. But you see, Madrid for list all they've met Marseille for 4 times, and Omar winning all 4 games are Omani Marseille about in the European competition. A win here, bet you say Madrid for no ebe the team or Mashe Marseille for the most in the league this season.
In the
Champions League. Until we team Madrid has shared more in the Champions League. We are poor Nicosia. Any Zurich Madrid has shown 4 times. So Madrid share a year team a year Marseille. Next so what be the team Madrid has shared more. So to me, Alonso teams no and Alonso team against Marseille is going to be a very good game, especially on the tactical level. People shouldn't underrate Marseille team no. So team they have players like Aubameyang. They have Mason Greenwood. They have Geoffrey Kondogbia. And the coach behind them. But like I said, Alonso might not be ahead of Roberto De Zerbi in terms of coaching. To me, although he's won the Bundesliga with Bayern Leverkusen, that is an amazing feat. But with what Roberto De Zerbi, a year with Brighton on a tactical level, look at the players he had. Or Pavard, or Moroccan Agued, or Sanso Emerson, former Chelsea left back, no, Kondogbia and Abraham Højbjerg can any day battle against Tchouaméni and Valverde in midfield. Who are Mason Greenwood, who are Timothy Weah and Robert Lewandowski, who has been scoring, Aubameyang, who has been scoring for fun in the League A. I think it shouldn't be a game of Madrid for be but then they have players like Kylian Mbappe who can any other day nights like this. That is when Omo arise above Omo shoulder and Omo meet me winning games, no, and so to me Ediama Omo team. So to me, I think that game is going to be an interesting game. But that game, I'm seeing both teams to score because of the firepower Marseille for no on a tactical level. So both teams to score is highly possible. But I do not see Madrid losing at home, especially being it an opener. And PSV ni Royal Union St. Gallen, but Union St. Gallen for no listo. Almost first time on Champions League ni, and they are coming into the Champions League as Belgium champions, and they are coming to meet PSV, also champions of the Netherlands. Omono, they've been playing in the Champions League for so many times. I think, sir, looking on the club side, pedigree, when it comes to line like this, pedigree, class, any experience, and especially stadium now, you're able to give no. PSV for no a favorite in this game. I do not see say St. Galo for no. They are a very good team, and I don't think say Peter Bosch and then the man and the in this game. I'm expecting over 1.5 goals in this game. PSV double chance highly possible in this game. Then again, we will see Benfica and Karabakh FK, and that game there's a Ghanaian interest. Another Ghanaian interest in that game. I just also beat me about this. A brand here, Ghanaian, another Ghanaian also Karabakh FK, no a midfielder, and a man for so any nature also. It's likely he can also play for this game. If you look at Benfica for now, the team are mostly they've been in the Champions League for so many years, and Ocheki and the teams are more Portugal, especially more the Champions League, more bomb more Benfica. Untimi Embo teams are obey Benfica, DFM. They are the only team, especially from Portugal, getting close. But if you look at Karabakh for now, Omunya winning any of almost 6 Champions League games in their last appearance since 2017 against a Portuguese side. And he shouldn't say Benfica for them, they already say who a team are who shouldn't tough issue now Portugal. Normally they will win against you. So to me, I think it's going to be an easy game for Benfica. In fact, we should see 3 goals from Benfica side, and I'm going for a straight win for Benfica. Now, I'll look into Dortmund and the Juventus game. This game, my 28 years ago, when Dortmund and the Juventus Dortmund won their first ever Champions League. And if you look at that game and you read the history now, they are saying that game one of the most super subs ever. Abramovich Obeshe their last minute goal the moment when they were leading 2-1. Anna Juve, Zidane money, Diopero and the pressure is almost no. The player who came to score the 3rd goal, Ebel Munalisto, 16 seconds. The first touch and on the chippy ball and the far goalkeeper and the Paris. So it is one of the iconic last minute goals from a player, also a free bench abba. So now there will be a return. Although after that final, our boy in 1997, 28 years ago, I'm boy in 2024, 2015 season. Our Juventus, actually Dortmund, Asheno, same as Osheno, both home and away. So in this game, it's going to be an interesting game. If you look at both teams, how Omobel lining up, it is going to be very difficult for both sides. And you share Juventus against Inter Milan. The Serie A, how resilient they are after going down, scoring important goals and coming back. The replay of that Champions League final will say that Dortmund share Juventus. No, some of the Juventus fans are all those days. No, anytime they will meet Dortmund, they will also talk. But Juve for Listo, Omunya Lusu whenever Omobo opening game in the Champions League. They've never lost an opening game in the Champions League. Amawinimu 11. I draw 3 out of the 14 European Champions League games. Omobo home. So definitely it means that also they have the record. Okay. And ego to the team na Ekita and Listo. If you look at how they've been playing last season, he's not that coach, maybe because of Oshishe, but Varus team the more lineup now to Somia. He has a very young squad. And then you know they are trying to build something. Especially if you can score against Inter Milan. Inter Milan coming to score 2-1, then you're coming to take the lead. Our winning game on a 4-3 notice, it tells you the mentality of this team. To be very honest, if you look at the Juventus team now, I only see Yode scoring because he has been a key player for Juventus this season. They have Jonathan David who can torment, run behind, link up play. Nibi be very good on that side, and also they have a very good midfielder. And they almost beat me about man in a way. So if you look at the team now, you go to the Eshishe team now they have Gatti, they have Bremer and Kelly normally as the three center backs. And you our Kalulu, go for any free AC Milan and can be also as the players on flanks. In fact, one or more attack here, Kalulu on Sheda a typical right back. So playing that right wing back on to me or form with that fast going back chance creation, but can be also a typical left back who is very good in attack. Until normally omo attack here, Kalulu entanko or no Bejina with the 4 center backs with Gatti, Bremer, and Kelimu. Then Cambiaso will join the attack. Locatelli, Thuram, and Locatelli are players technically gifted or a press resistant, and they have another player who can also break shins, a shinkika, obi obetima breaky passes, obey intercepts, obey that ground duels and aerial duels in the midfield for them. And now they have Koopmenes. In fact, watch the Serie A nature. Unim say Koopmenes for Atlanta. Those days, he's a top player, a good number 10. Obey to me amount as a bit to create chances there, and also add goals for you. And they have Kenan Yodes. And Brantano, taking the league by storm. And then he goes for Osheshe, and he's become an important figure for Juventus team. Now, Sabra is going to Dortmund there now. Dortmund team, if you are comparing those two teams, especially in the last 10 years, in their dominance, our Champions League, Dortmund. If you check Juventus for now, there's been seasons, last 5 seasons, this is the second time we about Champions League in 5 teams. And now, Guirassy last season, he was the joint top scorer, our Champions League. So, Segu Guirassy to score little, highly possible in this game. If you look at how Juventus, even though they won against Inter Milan, but they still allow Inter Milan to score 3 goals. Nature say coming up against Dortmund team, whether they are playing a big game, whether they are playing against any lower tier team, they make sure say they will score goal. This is likely how Dortmund team makes my set up. Bassimpani, Anthony Rensen as the 3 center backs. They have Kuto and Abrantani, Eddie Simpson. Oh no, Beko anymore. Nature and Job Bellingham will be the central midfielders. Karim Adeyemi, Abrantani Eddie Bayer. Any Segu Guirassy. Any day, if Juventus follow the least mistakes they will do, defensive third, Dortmund follow will take that opportunity because if you have Adeyemi and Guirassy, it's also a Champions League night. These 2 players alone, players are likely to score in this game. Listen, in this game, it's going to be very difficult for Dortmund and also Juventus. But looking at the record between these 2 clubs after that 28 years ago final, Dortmund for no omode set piece specialist. Any free kicks no connect is ekosho moji 2024 they won against them, and this season Malika said Juventus in Champions League opening games omo end time so 14 times omo end time so, and I don't see Juventus losing this game. Both teams to score in this game are highly possible. I see over 1.5 goals in this game. Then we should expect a lot of corners in this game, a lot of crossing, Ebeko boxing, and then again double chance for Juventus so in this game. So Listo, this is but aside from some game, if you want players to score in this game, ubetimi akọ Kylian Mbappe, he's also another player also ubetimi ashe go in the Champions League and nyame adome na omebo and Abranta de Richarlison.
Right, inti egusua analyze the games send be guide na also hu de ekone de eba ewo Stadio San Mamés eho enya asem keto akra 445 and Arsenal the Gunners, and bebo Arsenal team number so because last season what they did in the Champions League, yes, I think that if you look at their squad in general last season and this season they corrected last season's mistakes. That is ensuring the players sitting on the bench are even much better than the players starting. So eneya Abrante ayefreno Saka Eprano noni madueke nebo. Look, a player playing for Chelsea getting over 30 Premier League games is not a fluke. Chelsea supporters will be arrogant and say oh, he is not good enough, he is not this, he is not that. But me many fear me supporting Chelsea. You cannot play 30 games. That it will not happen. With Chelsea team anymore. He has quality, he has a unique style, and he has moved on to Arsenal. And Arsenal is already getting a year and fast or somewhere there. Omunya Eddie Free so it's answered Saka prior no cafes no can you see said they will be struggling over that area. Now Saka is not there and Noni Madueke Abba. Abrante bit say Eze fantastic player with Crystal Palace. All the difficulties from any career near there, he managed to take the mantle. And you see, in a Premier League, if you take a team, and now the two are betty, now to me quite to the extent that would you win a trophy, and yet easy. Even big clubs are over all the quality around you. If one aware the single player who carry team no, say ultimately the team need to win BBA and yadia a yas and ketwa. Imagine Crystal Palace. Look at their budget. Their fan base, even where they play their football crown, only to the elite clubs are, it is not possible. You cannot compare it. So for him, after Abrante Yefreno, Olise be free Crystal Palace. Now on what taking mantle, no what to medium first trophy in their history. Playing for the Three Lions, even before movie Arsenal should tell you the quality of possessor. This is a player, he is coming in as what? A backup. Like Obabe a team no, and it appears that he's even an upgrade on whatever Arsenal they were. You know, Arsenal standard and has been said, almost challenging for the title. So if you are challenging for the title, all the players involved will assume say omunyina quality ni ene top notch. This is the quality of the Ababe count. Zubimendi has come in, a player he has seen it all, a Spanish trained midfielder. You know, controlling game no, and now no the fact that Otimi shares are 2 goals no Edema Arsenal said there are some goals in the game he has come in. There is Miguel Merino already there and Yawa Abrante Declan Rice who has been a go-to guy in the team. Then Okwechire Honoma right back position, we don't need any introduction. Left back position, Calafiori and Abrante Ayefreno. Martin Skelly, the right back. I've said it already. You don't need any introduction because Oma Pruvi the last season say the White and the Dutch international Timber. Then defense one. There's been a season abrante a yefre no the Saliba prior na Arsenal had problems, had issues. Now they've been able to replace him easily. Abrante no more replacing a young, intelligent defender the Oba, and he has basically started well and he's playing well. Omakofa and says he made catch us South America. Yes, forget about the traditional clubs now. Omu produce players all the time. Now the emerging talent is coming from Ecuador. They've been able to get a player. He's coming in as a winner from Leverkusen. He park here. Kapi. He has joined the side. Arsenal is solid. That is what they've done. And last season, if you look at their performance against Real Madrid, that is a performance. If team meets Chelsea, Man United, Liverpool, Man City, there are some victories be on man. Team Binya, they will go on to win the league. But in Arsenal's case, after such emphatic victory, home and away victory over Real Madrid, now I was so confidence above the route. I was so much to be called Champions League, but they were not able to do it because they are Arsenal almost the Champions League. But what that win does to them, then they say, a better mentality, belief, akosro. Now, if they don't meet team and the mentality, what's our level now? Like we said, they will go the step further and go and win the Champions League. So, what that win against Real Madrid did to this particular Arsenal side, and they said it will give them the beliefs, said they can beat a lot of teams, they can beat the very best and go ahead and win the Champions League. So they are going into Spain at the back of their mind, thinking, say, look, we were supposed to win the Champions League, but we made a mistake. Especially even Abrante your friend Thomas Partey, the needless yellow card, Onya when that yellow card in the buy now, Omunina give it up. If you look at the attitude of the players, they lost against PSG in a Real Madrid game because the moment Partey edi yellow card now, a ruling out from that game now, and Omunya do Musegu Omuti. I'm not sure, sir. They will, of course, they will work on it. They will believe, saying, look, player Bia can be replaced. And looking at Saka, anyhow, when you are almost starting winning Premier League games, it will tell them, say, look, whoever is not available doesn't matter. And so what we did against Real Madrid now, a man against Besha PSG crowd, you lose before the match. We need to learn from that. And that is what is going to happen this particular season. I've tipped Arsenal to be the team to win the Champions League on Chelsea. These are my two teams I might choose. They are going to meet Atletico Bilbao. Bilbao, some way somehow lost all the preseason games. Or starting season, I thought he was not going to do well. But if you look at the teams Wabo in the Spanish La Liga, they've met Sevilla. Almost share Alaves. Almost share Real Sociedad. Yes, they almost share Sevilla 3-2. And almost share Rayo 1-0. Then Real Betis, almost call Real Betis from Real Betis 2-1. What it means is that three teams winning in the last couple of years. Almost even crowd the Rayo crowd, they are in the Conference League. This season, they are in the Conference League. So these are teams. Real Betis bought Conference League final last season, and Sevilla, Sevilla exploit. So these are the caliber of teams. Defeat you. They don't have, big names like before. Maybe Ada Herrera or Ikemunai. You can mention them. They don't have that players any longer. The players they have now. Nina me fan say equally good be obi an talent no was so kakra Nico Williams and own Siakan. He is out. Now they are left with the normal players you can think of. A home game against Alaves, they lost 1-0 at home. If you look at I think goalkeeper no and maybe a big guy all the way ni be there to Simon. Maka ni nyina yes. Naki Williams is not that guy like before. What you say? Yes, Obe bring energy near there, but the final output no cannot be, and as in the final output no cannot be relied upon. I want Belenguer, Abranti friend social and Guriska, and they have a Moroccan striker. Bisu Honum. These are not players. Obeka say okay, we've seen them do it, and for that matter, they can beat Arsenal. I beg to differ. Look, Arsenal in open play and conceded goal this particular season. The goal they considered against Liverpool was a free kick, set piece goal. And apart from that, they've not conceded from open play. It tells you how solid they are defensively. And going into this game with Noni Madueke, Eze, and Joe Carres, who hasn't shown say he ban the ball now, wait me up near there. But so the ball net to him, now on shot to net in India. No goalkeeper in the world stand a chance. And for this matter, I think Arsenal will have a lot of firepower against Atletico Bilbao. Yes, Bilbao elbow home there. Yes, Bilbao elbow home or a good. Yes, Bilbao elbow the first home game in the Champions League. So you will expect them to come out and come and play. But I think Arsenal firepower was too much. They have a whole lot of tricks in their sleeves on to me at their goal. I think Arsenal will win this particular game. Arsenal will beat Atletico Bilbao 2-0 in this particular game. If you are expecting a player to score, most of the times I am a comma a players in case a penalty bomber omo ebebono omo and I am a at the moment. It's a branch of Jokeres to score in this particular game. We are hoping that look, they will go and give us a good performance. It doesn't matter the injury situation. A branch of your friend or Nico Williams will not play. Over Arsenal side, number 10. On to me the Osia can hear Odegaard in Siakan. Sasso and Abrante Freno, Gabriel Sis will not play. Can't have it. Omunina a sad line, Saka a sad line, but and yet there is no cause for alarm because they have equally good players. So we are hoping that and then by 4:45 now game never started. You be who the performance was so. With Juventus, Obetna Alliance Arena na one ayebubu ko efreno Borussia Dortmund etimides aboyeni. Tudor enim Juventus team ni ye pa. They've been rebuilding their team, and through that they've lost some quality players. But it appears that there is some level of stability with the current crop of players. Even though I thought say come best player coming into this season Branty Efreno Conceição. After Oba loan from Porto no performance or done edi any the Oba club World Cup Oba done edi no Juventus for say was almost signed permanently. They wanted a striker. They went in for Jonathan David. They realized that no, they still need another striker. So they will move Vlahovic on normal Kwakofa Abrante friend Kolo Muani. But it appears that into Tuyena and Sheda and Kuyi, so they had to stick to Abrante friend Vlahovic. Our experience, he's still young and he knows the Juventus team very well. So he's still around. Now, last season never started and Abrante friend Bremer, the Brazilian international, prior. He was their player. No more believe he said Oba forming a defensive wall. To me diabwa post Bazagli Bonucci and Chiellini. And an injury taken out this ACL. So he was basically out the entire season. So Ebema whole Ebeda Juventus H.O. Ebedu baby crowd, they needed a year Renato Viega to come and help them to solve issues 1 or 2, but it still didn't help. Now he has come. Matches Omabon this season, no more cause he go to say almost share a year against Derby the Italia, a year Bobo Koefeno. Inter Milan. And when you are playing against Inter Milan, you need to open up and play and beat them. And that's exactly what they did. They considered 3 goals there. But games they are very solid defensively. Very, very, very solid defensively. With inclusion of Bremer, now they are pushing Kelly, the left footer, to be Kelly in position now. Then Bazag, they are getting Gatti. Then Kalulu. On only a center back, no. On no moment about a right wing back. Then Cambias. So even their last game, their game against Inter Milan, Cambias or no movie because of what now a card. Now he's returning to the side. In 51 Turam. Solid midfielder. A midfielder who drives the ball. Who push it forward, and now Brantia Yefren Lucatelli stay behind, making sure say as a press resistor, controlling the affairs. Say emuya dia McKennie etumi the eba. McKennie need to be ball midfield or to be ball left wing back and right wing back. But be to be ball at the Boama Nyama the Ekoye. Coop Menes, then a Brantia Yefren Yeldes. Then a new Jonathan David obviously will start ahead of Vlahovic in the game. The team no and said that yes solid. On guys big player Ben yeah this has all talent near the other. But what you can get from this particular Juventus side and they say they're open to play and they have the right balance. What the right balance when they are playing. Offensively and defensively, the balance is there. So you can be rest assured, say, with their supporters behind them, they will come and out and come and play. Oko Dortmund side, look, Minyaka or the Dortmund lineup on at the tour, at the Miami, probable lineup on, and that has been their lineup since season started here. Juventus player, friend, Slotterbeck, or no, and an top defender, time no more Champions League final. Defender na no obunya opera pretre no e ono na asem na make or a German international o pry or call long term injury season e ba wie no about Americana or no experience or something or captain team no or no so e wo team no a wako injury ana abrante friend Nicolas Sule Champions League final ye huni modern ball. These are experienced defenders. You would expect say common ebe ye adwuma no. But injuries are taking some players way out. Dortmund eba Chelsea ebe far the young intelligent defender ye friend Asemino. The first game of boy show the reason why at Chelsea ekokoto at that price. Asemino when loan at the amount Dortmund. The first game he was superb. Now injury has taken him out because he played the entire minutes and over Chelsea from January now. On said that enough playing time. You can be rest assured say, as a young player, say one more continuous games and players in this no more than next year. Pulisic in recent time say one more continuous games no one more to also now my spaces be the demo ni nyina injuries and ayana eko edemam. So that's exactly Adia Ato Asemino. Now look at the Omu defense aka. That is the advantage for Juventus. That is the advantage. Anton, Besserban, any rising. These are players so when team name Kesiapa, they are basically wing right backs and left backs.
Fullback. Yeah.
Fullbacks. They are fullbacks. The outing guy is a fullback. Saso na Besabeni so a fullback. Ryerson so a fullback. So fullbacks and a omobo a defense no ede ama a Dortmund. Then Osha a wing backs na Yanko to Obianum. Last season Okoye no and Yaman to me and said that Anku Yan farm and sending an all born a Girona no. Because Okoye no na coach or Nuri Sahino no Shadanya Danasa. And then new coach about season is started, he is playing cover, Nico cover, and he cracked him no. So say Silverson and a babble a right wing back no. Nimancha and a Jude Bellingham, Niano, Job Bellingham, and a babo made for the any more no, and that's almost strength no, a war. Massimiliano Bayer, a brother friend a day me, and a Gurasi. On paper, a lightweight dear. But football no, sometimes you believe. How you can believe? Say we will go out and go and play and score goals. Dortmund, ewo atiti mu pa. If Fabio Silva no mo fa ni Eddie Free Wolves after fantastic work or edema Bubukwa your friend no Las Palmas no while returning to Wolves and a Abrantia and as a Bubukwa friend Dortmund akwa akofana ba onu so pra. Pascal Gross illness. Abrantia friend no Oscam on also NCAC injury. Then Duravel on also EPRA. So injuries ha bubu kwa ye friend Dortmund. Yes, Consisa also EPRA Juventus side. He's a quality player, quality player. Abrantia friend Merati. On also after the ban he has or injury and I am Milik. Akadios Milik or no so EPRA ewo. If you compare now check BBA obviously the strength of both teams, you know. Any team are why ready, why prepared for the season. I think say who will call a friend Juventus upper hand. In recent meetings so much no say Juventus was through. But I think these two teams will score. Two teams, you know, everybody will score. Gurasi will want to score and he will score. And Yildiz will want to score. He will score today. Cook Manners, no. They will score. So a game both teams will score over 1.5. A possible shot on target. Abrantia FN Yildiz. Everybody shot on target. Shot on target. Abrantia FN Yildiz will give you shot on target. The same as Abrantia FN Cook Manners. These are players they like to shoot, and players they like to shoot. You know, the Omenya is Omenya a shot on target. Abrantia FN Yildiz shot on target. Na Abrantia FN Cook Manners shot on target will happen in this particular game. Me shake it to be a year. I think Real Madrid and Marseille, of course. Real Madrid, they are still in their rebuilding phase, and teams almost still in their rebuilding phase. They will not joke with any game. And looking at what happened a year last season, they will want to start well. And Madrid Asia team City deep, a defender compactor. Now they struggle, but in a Marseille team obviously they will open up and play. They will open up on the beam and it will be goals galore. So this game over 2.5, clear over 2.5. Nothing will change my mind. Says I have a game with 3 goals in the ember. Abrantia friend Vinicius Junior will want to let people know say Charlie, men call baby. Yes, Obia airball a year Mbappe, but you want to let people know say he is around. And about Champions League now Onimbo in Champions League no boy yepa. So a player to score, I will tip a year Abrantia a year friend a year Vinicius Junior to score today in a year Real Madrid game. No. Tottenham was personally Villarreal. Thomas Frank I want to believe the experience in Champions League, will be if you want to compare to a branch coach, a friend of Marcelino, obviously the distance will be wide. They want to build something. A team of Poro, Vicario will be in post, obviously. Romero, now the captain of the side. Van de Ven. Spence, Etumiaba to Dogi. Udogi. Papi Matassa, the best player currently at Tottenham Hotspur team. No, that Senegalese young chap. He can give you goals. He has legs. He can run, distributor. He has everything. Solid player. Solid player. Ope player of throwing the tackles without shying away. Branch your friend Papi Matassa. So we will be a card some now. With Marco yellow card there, man. He will be booked today. A branch your friend Bergval, and Paulina. These are the three midfielders I likely so much. Bergval to me to a branch your friend no. Better car and easy. We have better car performance but any young chap no to know one man. Mohamed Kudus one favorite position. Richarlison and Javi Simons are the player to start. Shot on goal and then Medema Kudus will shot at goal. The shot on target. Mohamed Kudus the man. Oko Villarreal, our performance against Atletico Madrid was not the best. In recent years, they always score against Atletico Madrid. Almost matches almost goals, but again, last weekend they couldn't score against Atletico Madrid. You want to see them go all out in this particular game, and Tottenham Hotspur team and open. They play open football. You would expect Villarreal will score. Villarreal to score in this game, no. Non-negotiable. Villarreal is going to score in this particular game, so we'll be rest assured. Thomas Partey would want to get one past the former foes. That is Tottenham Hotspur, not London. You know, obviously, Thomas Partey will not like Tottenham Hotspur naturally because of playing for Arsenal. So today you'd expect that the crowd will want to target him. Crowd never targeting him. So you would expect a Ghanaian man to also be up there trying to show them say massa me nimbo ni bo enye mu books no ene mu GS no ene be de ebe bibi. So he will want to exert himself. He will want to do well. Oni gwe e won finfin wonum Komensana enso e wo honum saso e na brant efe no bahana ono so e wo honum a chese enya asem keto a ene was said you say Gerard Moreno. A dear injury Branty we no areho. Gerard Moreno is the captain for Villarreal. Or no ena go sa almost nyina na odeba. And Branty need to me in Siakan is answer injuries disturbing. So hopefully on Siakan so Nicolas Pepe money at the Ebeboa Amanyama atumi akoye e de ama Villarreal. I don't want to go too much into it because time no abenye pa. I expect goals to flow in this particular game. They will open up and play. Look, we are going to get 2.5 goals in this game. Villarreal will score. Sassuolo Tottenham Hotspur will also score in this particular game. So expect nothing by fireworks in this game. Mintino yanko Arsenal. Yamubo so na fe yen ramu na de akechire no nyina yensa enfambre Benedict.
Yes inti ene hwe all tell my MYBET.AFRICA ene mewura omo bet builder option no because the Champions League games ne endorse into with the bet builder no eboa eme na ewutimi ye selections emu edu etimi efiska my MYBET.AFRICA. My first game Arsenal and Atletico Bilbao. Arsenal win or draw and 1.5. Benfica and Gary Bag. Benfica win 1.5 and so Tottenham Hotspur and Villarreal. Tottenham Hotspur win or draw and 1.5. Juventus Dortmund. Juventus win or draw and over 2.5 and so and the last game PSV and Union Saint Gallen game on Bebo and also 1.5. Code no ZQ VY MYBET.AFRICA. Na mpacho mpese me de Mr. James, general manager.
Okay.
Why we player to score bi.
Okay.
I'll say an fan to jama hwefo no mun so ntimi ntie no mun so ntimi mfa kakra ento ombotom. Inti Arsenal any let's go Bilbao game on bebo. Victor Gyökeres to score at any time. Kylian Mbappe to score against Real Madrid Marseille. And Serge Guirassy to score against Juventus and Dortmund. And Lautaro Martinez Inter Milan yas game no. Lautaro Martinez to score. Mohamed Salah for Liverpool and Atletico Madrid game. Harry Kane for Chelsea and Bayern Munich. And Erling Haaland against Napoli. That is Manchester City against Napoli.
Okay.
Odds 135 odds.
Okay.
Code ni PYBY ewo MYBET.AFRICA.
Aye, me Champions League daily chops and the games no PSV and Union Saint Gilwa game no double chance for PSV and over 1.5 goals in that game. After so okwa Juventus and Borussia Dortmund game no double chance for Juventus and both teams to score and a belt builder option.
Okay.
And Real Madrid and Olympic Marseille game no double chance for Real Madrid and over 1.5 goals in that game. Athletic Bilbao and Arsenal double chance for Arsenal. Benfica and Karabakh FK straight win for Benfica. Tottenham Hotspurs and Villarreal over 1.5 goals in that game. Out of 6.7 code no BTBY on my bets.
Okay. Mr. MYBET me no any. Okay. Okay, me the code no at inside it. Arsenal. Me call say Arsenal. Me call say Arsenal be winning. Arsenal straight win. Yes. PSV ne Union Saint-Gilloise. PSV home win or draw. Arsenal away win. Benfica home win. Tottenham Hotspur Villarreal over 1.5. Juventus and Dortmund over 1.5. And Real Madrid and Olympic Marseille. Real Madrid straight win. Real Madrid straight win. Into all do know. 5.5 to almost 6 odds. Nyame adom na adom dom ya. Ochina yebeba na yaba betwa so na de akachi ne de amamo yakramo.